Hey guys, so this is going to be the first part of the roster slash team breakdown video series that I wanted to go ahead and start for this channel. So to start off, we're going to kind of keep it a little bit easy, pretty simple. I know a lot of you are probably already maxed this team out just like I have here, as you can see, but we're going to be talking about the defenders today. Pretty solid team overall, pretty well rounded, and a lot of synergy between these guys. And what we're going to cover is their kits, their traits, their availability, and their overall abilities as a character. So let's go ahead and dive right into it, guys. So first off, we're going to go ahead and start off with Iron Fist. He is a Hero City Mystic Brawler, Defender, and Martial Artist. For him, you're going to be able to go ahead and find him in a variation of different ways. You have the Premium Orb, the Legacy 1 Orb, the Milestone Orb, the Gamma Raid Orbs, and he also has a node for Nexus 1-9. It is going to be a little bit harder to get there just because you do have to clear some villain and some hero campaign missions to unlock the Nexus campaign. But once you do get that and you're able to 3-star him, you are able to go ahead and start farming him for shards there. So his first ability is going to be attack primary target for 250% damage, chain to 2 adjacent targets for 130 damage, and counterattack breaks this chain. That's going to be his basic. So as you can see here, he doesn't have any little markers or blips, as I call them there, or energy. That's just because your basic will always be available to you. You do not have to store any energy at all. Okay, and that's going to be for martial arts. For inner peace, again, you'll see here it's going to have 3 little blips right there. That's usually available on turn 1 there. If it's not, it'll have some missing. But this one will clear all negative effects from self. You're going to heal self and all defender allies for 8,000 health, plus 10% of this character's max health. Then heal the most injured city hero ally for 8,000 health, plus 10% of this character's max health. And you're going to fill the speed bar by 30% as well. Then moving on to Iron Fist, it's going to be attack the primary target for 700% damage, plus clear 3 positive effects, 60% chance to gain offense down, and it cannot be blocked. So as I said before, he's got 3 little energy blips there and 2 that are blank. That means that this is not available on turn 1. You're going to have to get either extra energy, which typically Jessica Jones can provide, or you're just going to have to gain 1 energy every time that his turn goes. Then you have Son of Kunlun, which is his passive ability. Once again, the basic and passives, those will always have no blips above them, and that's just because, again, that's not something that requires any energy to trigger them. They are just passive or basic abilities that can be used. So with Son of Kunlun, you on spawn, you're going to heal self and defender allies for 30% of this character's max health. You're going to heal additional city hero allies for 10% of this character's max health. Then, to continue on, you're going to, on turn, 40% chance to heal self and defender allies for 30% of this character's max health, and heal additional city hero allies for 20% of this character's max health. You're also going to gain an additional 5% damage for each defender ally. So the more defenders you have, the better, because they're going to go ahead and stack those on top, okay? Alright, so moving on to the next one. We're looking at Punisher. He's going to be a Hero, City, Skill, and Blaster. For him, you're going to be able to find him in the Premium Orbs, the Legacy 1 Orbs, the Milestone Orbs, and also in Hero 6-1. So he's a pretty quick and easy farm because, again, you're going to work through these nodes pretty easily as opposed to later on. So that's where you'll be able to find Punisher and kind of use him for the dailies as well. So M4 Carbine, and as you'll see here, I don't have all of his abilities maxed like I did with Iron Fist. So at that point, you're going to be able to max everything else out there. So sometimes it will depend on what you consider viable at that point, you know. So So his M4 carbine, which is his basic, it's going to attack the primary target for 240% damage plus 20% piercing. Then you have a 30% chance to chain up to 2 additional targets for 200% damage plus 20% piercing, and a counterattack does break this chain. Then you have the grenade launcher ability, which is his secondary, as you see here, 4 energy, so he's going to be able to have that on turn 1. Attack primary target for 180% damage plus 10% piercing. Attack all adjacent enemies for 140 damage plus 10% piercing. Now, you may be asking what piercing is, and we'll kind of get to that here in just a moment. Now, if I were to max this out, then that would increase this number here from 180 to 200, and this one from 140 to 160, but I don't feel that a 20% increase is worth spending those ability materials there. Alright, fully loaded. This is going to be an AoE effect, and this is available ready to go on turn 1. You're going to attack all enemies for 170% damage or 20% piercing. If it is maxed out, you're going to hit for 200% damage and 20% piercing. Alright, and then lock and load. This is an absolutely essential ability in my opinion, just because of how much it does there, because it guarantees that if Daredevil is hit, he's going to retaliate, which if at least one ally is a city hero, you're going to gain a 20% chance to assist on non-attack abilities. Then you're going to gain a 20% chance to assist on non-attack abilities per defender allies. If Daredevil is an ally, when the enemy attacks him, attack that enemy for 200% damage plus 10% piercing. Then he's also going to go ahead and gain an additional 10% damage. He's going to gain 50% damage against villain targets. And then if he has city allies, they're going to gain 5% damage. City hero allies gain 10% damage instead. So these are your defenders. Then city hero allies also gain an additional 30% damage against villain targets. So as you can see, he may not have the defender's tag, but he is definitely going to go ahead and bring some punishment with him, aka the reason he's called the Punisher. And you know, you're gonna have a pretty beefy blaster out of the Punisher, especially having a full defenders team around him. Alright, moving on, you're going to have Daredevil, which is the man without fear here. He's going to be a hero, city, bio, brawler, defender, and a martial artist. Alright, so he is going to be available in the Premium Orb, the Legacy 1 Orb, the Milestone Orb, the Gamma Raid Orb, and the Arena Store. So as you'll notice, he does not have a node that you can actually farm him in. That is because he is going to be in the Arena Store for a certain amount of currency that is going to be required to be able to get 5 shards for him out of that store. Okay, so to start, his basic is going to be Strike Without Fear. You're going to attack the primary target for 270% damage, and you're going to have a 50% chance to bonus attack for 200% damage. If the target is a villain, you're always going to bonus attack, so you're always going to hit for a bare minimum of 270% if he's fighting a villain. Throw Baton, which is his secondary, is going to be available on turn 1. Now, again, as mine reads currently, is attack primary target for 180% damage, plus you're going to chain to 1 to 2 targets within 2 spaces of the previous target for 130% damage. Dodge breaks this chain, and it is going to apply 2 counters to self and all defender allies. Now, if you do max this out, it is going to grant an additional 20%, meaning that this is going to go to 200%, and that's going to go to 150, and it will guarantee to chain up to 2 targets. Again, I didn't feel that it was necessary to max this out because for a 20% increase on both of them, I just didn't really feel it was worth spending those T4 abilities. Now, onto his ultimate, which again is available turn 1. Attack primary target for 400% damage, then you're going to chain up to 4 to 6 adjacent targets for 240 damage, and you're going to counterattack, if a counterattack hits, it's going to break this chain as well. Now, for his passive, which is Enhanced Senses, you're going to have Self and Defender allies gain 5% speed, plus this is also applied after any character has taken an action. Then you're also going to gain a 5% dodge chance, and he's going to gain an additional 5% per Defender ally, and he's going to gain an additional 10% damage. Again, for only a 5% increase, which only brings this number up to 10, I did not feel that this was worth spending the T4 ability into. Alright, next up we have Jessica Jones. She's going to be a hero, city, bio, controller, and a defender. For her, you're going to be able to find her in the Premium Orb, the Legacy 1 Orb, the Milestone Orb, and she has her own node on Villains 2-9. So again, these guys are super easy on farming. They're very early game, and you're going to be encountering those nodes quite a bit to try and build up your level, your experience, and definitely try to get some shards for these guys. Alright, so to start, you're going to have Jawbreaker, which is her basic. It's going to attack the primary target for 220% damage, plus a 50% chance to bonus attack 1 to 2 times for 170 damage, meaning that you can actually attack almost 3 times back to back with this, and you're also going to generate 1 ability energy for self or a random defender ally. Each attack has 50% chance to generate 1 ability energy to self or a random ally. So meaning that for every attack, you have a 50% chance to gather some more energy and give it to a random ally, which again is very, very beneficial, especially if you're trying to heal or maybe taunt with Luke Cage, which we'll see here in a minute, and just go from there. Alright, so her secondary, which is Shake It Off, mine currently reads clear all negative effects from self, clear 3 negative effects from all allies. Then you're also going to generate 1 ability energy for each defender ally, and you're going to generate 4 ability energy to random allies. And if you max it out, it is going to clear all negative effects from all allies. Alright, her ult, which is Rejection, or Ultimate, sorry. Attack primary target for 350% damage. You're also going to clear 3 positive effects, and you're also going to gain 100,000% extra focus for this attack. If you do have it maxed out, that number is going to increase to 400%, and you are going to clear all positive effects from the primary target. So if you're facing somebody that just has a bunch of buffs on them, this is going to be the one move that'll go ahead and clear all of that for you. Next up is Denial. You're going to gain 30% resistance. Defenders are also going to gain that 30% resistance. Additional city allies, meaning if they are just city allies in general, be it city or villains, they're going to gain a 20% resistance on that, and then all other allies will gain 15%. So if you have her mixed in with somebody else, other than city, period, point blank dot, they're going to gain at bare minimum 15% resistance. Now, if you max it out, she will gain a 40% resistance, and so will defender allies at that point. Alright, moving on now to the last of them, which is going to be Luke Cage. Alright, he's going to be a hero, city, bio, protector, and a defender. And once again, he's pretty easy to find as well. He's going to be in the Premium Orb, the Legacy 1 Orb, the Milestone Orb, the Gamma Raid Orb, and he will also be available in the Blitz Supplies, the Blitz Orb, and he also has his own node for heroes as well. So he has multiple ways that you can farm him, either through his node or through the Blitz Supplies there. So you do have a couple of options in case you're running low on energy. Maybe you want to spend some Blitz Supplies, or maybe you don't want to spend Blitz Supplies on him, you just want to farm him straight out and save your Blitz Supplies for another character in that store. So now for his kit, as you'll see here, I don't have any of his abilities maxed, so I'll go ahead and read them off as if, after I read them, I'll read them as if they were fully maxed out or what the upgrade causes. So you have a 30% chance to apply Assist Now to a random hero ally. If that ally is a defender, they also gain offense up, and then you attack the primary target for 290 damage. If you max this out, it is going to go ahead and give a 40% increase, meaning that that's going to sit at 330% damage. Alright, Then you have his secondary, which is Bring It On. It's going to gain taunt for 2 turns plus 2 regeneration. You're also going to clear 2 negative effects from yourself, and you're going to apply regeneration to all defender allies. If it's maxed out, instead of just 2 effects, you're going to clear all negative effects from yourself on that taunt. Then you have his ultimate, which is Unbreakable. You're going to go ahead and gain defense up for 2 turns, plus you're going to gain death proof. Apply defense up to all defender allies for 2 turns. Then you're going to apply defense up to all additional allies, and you're also going to generate 1 to 2 ability for random allies. If you have this maxed, it's going to increase from 1 to 2, and it's going to increase from to 1 to 3 ability energy for random allies. Now his passive, which is Power Man, you're going to gain 5% max health per defender ally. Then you're also going to gain an additional 5% armor, and you're going to gain 10% max health. Now as far as his ability goes, I'm not sure if that is going to be per defender ally that increases, or if it's just going to increase this one and make it 15%. However, I do believe that it is just simply a 15% max health increase on that. Alright guys, and that was pretty much it for the defenders. Again, as you can see, these guys are a pretty well-rounded team. They do take care of one another pretty well, and they are definitely worth getting ahead early on in the beginnings of the game. They're going to provide you with a pretty solid war defense if you're not facing anything that has like current meta offense and defense and things of that nature. So for earlier player individuals, it'll definitely be worth it for you. Now one final thing before I end this video, I am going to kind of explain the stats a little bit, because it was explaining a few percentages here and there. So your health is going to be the total capability to withstand damage. Your damage is going to basically your hit points. Your damage is just going to be the base borderline. Like if you just hit, there's no increase or anything. That's what you're going to hit for on base damage. Your armor is going to be what reduces your incoming damage. And you will see certain characters later on that do have specific moves that will increase armor by certain percentages. Then your focus and your resistance, as you saw, like with JJ, she gains 100,000% focus, meaning that number right here is multiplied by 100,000%. That's going to be the ability to be able to actually put debuffs or remove buffs on a character, and vice versa for resistance. That's going to be your ability to resist a negative effect or resist somebody taking a buff from you. Now, critical damage, this is going to be how much your critical damage will come in at when you land a critical hit, and then your critical chance is how often you may have a chance at landing a critical hit. Your speed is going to be pretty much your indication of how quickly that character is going to get a turn, and how quickly their speed bar will be filling as well. So the higher the speed, the better chances you are of typically acting before another character. You might even get a chance to hit an enemy before they get a chance to hit you. Then your dodge chance and your block chance, these will change depending on different characters, but your dodge chance is just going to be the ability to avoid an incoming attack. Your block chance is going to be pretty much your ability on how often you will block, and the block amount will be how much it's reduced by. So an initial hit, let's say you take 100,000, it's going to reduce that by 25%, meaning you'll only get hit for 75,000, just to give that rough idea out there. And then your accuracy, that's just going to be the ability to hit somebody, as far as how well you'll land hits. Now granted, blind will change that, because blind will automatically make you miss unless you're somebody like Daredevil or Hawkeye or Bullseye or somebody like that. So to give you an idea, he had 100% accuracy. So we'll go over here to Daredevil, and basically for Daredevil, you see how his accuracy is 200%. That means that he will never miss when he's blinded. So at that point, he cannot miss. I mean, you can't really blind the guy who's already blinded, right? So that is pretty much everything for this video here, guys. Please let me know if you did like it. If you did, go ahead and hit that like button, and if you are wanting future content, just go ahead and subscribe to the channel as well. It does help out to know that people are watching and subscribing, and kind of keep fueling that train, if you will, to keep making content for you guys. So again, just wanted to start off with the Defenders. Quick, easy, well-rounded team. And if you guys have any requests, there's an offer that popped up for War Machine. But if you do have any suggestions or any teams that you would like for me to start breaking down and kind of doing a roster breakdown and character breakdown, definitely feel free to leave that in the comments, and I'll definitely take a look at that and read into those guys. Other than that, take it easy and have a good evening. Later.